10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Takiro. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Slog.
Radiant team ban. Seconds. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining.
Phantom Assassin.
Dire team pick.
Lich.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I just noticed that my mic wasn't frickin' on the entire time. Holy shit, guys. That was frickin' a giant waste of time. Holy crap. And that's why I don't like running with all this delay. We have legitimately so much delay, guys, but oh my god. Okay, so quick summary of the draft. Here are the highlights. Oh man, what a huge error. Mic not on. That's the price of solo casting with 7 minutes of delay. Lina Dota. They have a nice balance of magic power and physical power. They have a lot of AoE team fight, just a lot of stuff that's going to be thrown around. And they have the type of team comp that can get in under Phelps' lineup, i.e. they will be able to end the game before Phelps really feel comfortable taking fights and stuff like that. For the Phelps side, they have a Death Prophet, so obviously one of the most powerful heroes in the game. He's going to be running the mid-game, or at least trying to run the mid-game for Phelps. They have a Phantom Assassin who's able to 100-0 the likes of Slark, and of course Jakiro and Lich not safe to that either. Phantom Assassin is the type of bursty hero, and she's a carry hero that could take fights very quickly, and therefore will be nice for Phelps. The initiation edge should be in the hands of Phelps with the Centaur being able to blink initiate onto one target. Usually you don't want to be doing that as Tidehunter, because if you whiff your Ravage, or if you blink into a situation that doesn't lend itself to a Ravage, if BKBs come up, then suddenly you're screwed. Hard to initiate just blindly off of that. A lot easier to do that with Centaur. And the roaming supports for Phelps with the Ogre Magi and the... oh man, who was the last one? Oh man, who was the last one? Scarf Mage wasn't picked. I remember saying that was weird. Yeah. Damn. Well, we'll see it in a bit. I mean, when you pick up an Ogre Magi, you have yourselves already at a very aggressive support. You go around and start to kill things. That's something that Lina Dota can't really do. With the Jakiro and Lich, their roaming is going to be extremely limited. I mean, Frost Blast and Ice Path is fine, but unless you're setting up for a Razor who already is static linked, then you're probably not going to be getting that kill, especially since you're dealing with Death Prophet, who's moving extremely quickly, Phantom Assassin with their Phantom Strike out. Stuff like this will make it very difficult for Lina Dota to make their rotations. Once a Slark gets something like a Blink Dagger, then it's going to be a lot easier for them to just roam around as a team of 5 and force team fights with Ravage, and that should be taking Lena Dota pretty far. Oh, right, it's a Dazzle. Dazzle is not really the aggressive roamer either with the Ogre Magi, but with the Phantom Assassin, being able to keep her alive or being able to keep the Death Prophet alive for just a little while longer is going to be crucial. If the dream for Phelps is that they use Grave on Death Prophet when she's at, 2 seconds left on her ultimate, and then she gets fully healed, and then suddenly the Grave bought her an entire new life. I don't know if that's going to happen. It very rarely does, but we will see if it's going to happen in this game, as we are now in the game with the mic turned on, guys. Yes, I know. Oh, man. Yeah, solo casting, again, with 7 minutes of delay. Not fun. I don't know why we have 7 minutes of delay either. Seems a little bit long, but apparently cheating and stuff like that. On the Lena Dota side, currently down 0-1 in this best of 2. Anteater is going to be playing the mid lane Viper. Grim is going to literally be running circles around him as the Lich. It's going to be Grant on the Jakiro. Up towards top, it's going to be King Liger on the Slark, and that leaves Attila on the Tidehunter. On the Phelps side, we got Bubla playing the Ogre Magi, Ratatatata on the Dazzle. Both going to be supporting Erotic Chopsticks. Same player, different name. On the Phantom Assassin, Pumpkin's Revenge is going to be playing the mid lane Death Prophet. That leaves Mercy up towards top as the Centaur. It is looking to be, once again, 3 versus 1 lanes. Both teams content with running themselves some defensive tri-lanes. I think it could have been Lena Dota getting away with a very deadly offensive tri-lane. So if they switch the Tidehunter to the top lane, they will get a favorable matchup there. And then it'll be, Tide versus Centaur, and it's not terrible for the Centaur, but it's definitely a lot better for Tide. Having Anchor Smash means you're rarely going to lose those lanes. And then Jakiro, Razor, and Lich is an incredibly dangerous tri-lane. And then put Slark in the middle lane. And it'll be a little bit of a weaker lane for Slark, but nothing he can't manage versus a Death Prophet. It's an alternative that they could have gone for. Instead, deciding to prioritize their farm. I think this is a lot better for Phelps than it is for Lena Dota. Obviously, I just said Lena Dota have a lot more potential there. But also the fact that Phelps, with the late game that they have, Phantom Assassin, taking Blur level 1. I don't know why you would do that when Stifling Dagger level 1 is just so much better. But Phantom Assassin is more of a late game hero than Slark or Razor is. So if they just sit back and farm, then they're fine. And it seems like both teams do favor the sit back and farm approach. So the longer the teams stay in their lanes, the less movement there is, the better off the Phantom Assassin is going to get. Like, getting Slark farm is great, but really you want him to leave the lane at a certain point and try to look for kills. Especially once you have maxed out Pounce and Dark Pact and everything like that. That's really when you want your Slark to be leaving and getting active around the map. Because he could conceivably blink in onto the likes of a Dazzle and then, force the Shallow Grave at the very least, if not just completely 100 to 0 him, with the amount of damage you could put out as Slark. Even you could do that to the Phantom Assassin. Like, that is viable. So, it's going to be up to Lena Dota to not stick around too much in their lanes, make their rotations, and make sure that they are able to apply a constant stream of pressure to Phelps. Otherwise, a late game Phantom Assassin is going to be devastating. Phelps, it is conceivable to see the Death Prophet running the lane, running the game for them, and then her with the Centaur, Ogre, and Dazzle are going to be running everywhere, pushing everything. They're going to have to deal with the Ravage, and that is incredibly dangerous, so that might not be the most attractive line of play, but when you have an Exorcism, you're pretty much going to feel comfortable to do anything you want. And if you're going to be pushing with the team, that should be getting the job done. Mercy is actually not being zoned out too heavily up on top lane. I mean, there is a little bit of pulling action going with Jakiro and Lich, but Centaur is, well, now he's going to get zoned out. I don't expect these two offlaners to get that much, despite the fact that they are very powerful offlaners. Just being in these situations is not really great for them. Attila's going to fight with Bubla, and that's not a fight that the Ogre Magi wants to take. But then suddenly with the Dazzle here, this isn't a fight that Attila wants to take. Doesn't have an Anchor Smash to get out of this. He can take a Fire Blast, but the Anchor Smash going to reduce the Ogre Magi's damage down to pretty much nothing, and then he salves up looking for the cancel. Oh, that was close. But Tidehunter is going to salve up, be just fine. Unfortunately, this Phantom Assassin was a little bit too far away, and she could not offer that additional slow, which I think would have gotten the kill. I mean, they weren't doing that much damage because of an Anchor Smash, Kraken Shell, and Ring of Protection, but with a Stifling Dagger, then I think it would have been a kill. But either way, another opportunity missed. Not really a terribly huge deal, since it would have been narrow either way. Erotic Chopsticks is going to get quite a bit of farm, and King Liger is actually missing a lot more CS than the Phantom Assassin is. Slark is, as I said, not as hard of a carry, so missing these CS is fine. provided that Slark is going to be active in the mid game and he's going to look to redeem this missed CS with kills. And going up for Mercy first seems like a good way to start. They're going to set up for an Ice Path. They have a Pounce as well. They're going to jump right into a Stomp, however. Mercy taking quite a bit of damage. Actually has level 2 Stomp, so that did even more. He's going to turn around and not eat a tree. He's going to go down very slowly due to the Frost Blasts and right clicks, but it will be a kill nonetheless. Mercy is the first one to fall. And we can just so easily see the difference in this game having any sort of setup at all for an Ice Path compared to just completely whiffing them throughout the entire early stage in the game. Like, that set up the kill so much easier. It wasn't exactly like an instant hit and then kill. Like, it's again, no Mirana arrow, but it was able to connect eventually. And then, you know, just having enough time for the Slark to close in, land a level 2 Pounce, or I think maybe level 1 when the kill actually landed. Either way, landing a Pounce, landing a little bit more damage onto that Tidehunter, it really does make a difference, and it's something that you have to consider whenever you draft the likes of a Jakiro. It's like Death Prophet's going to get a lot of damage stolen by Anteater. Has Mercy waiting in the wings, but you do not want to fight a Razor right now. He's essentially working with a double damage rune. And, well, Pumpkin's Revenge is going... Pumpkin. Yeah, I'm pronouncing it Pumpkin, like the gourd, but I didn't realize it was Pumpkin. I don't think there's a difference there, but that's fine. Well, he's going to return back to the lane. Razor's going to look for the bottom lane rune. Unfortunately for him, already taken. Dazzle secured that one. Only a little bit of bounty. That's fine. This is actually level 3 Dazzle and a level 2 Ogre Magi. These two, again, not the best gankers in the world. They probably can't get anyone killed except for the Tidehunter. So, really the first thing that should happen that is going to start any action, as opposed to just, you know, randomly getting kills in lane and setting up for that, should be King Liger getting his first core item, whether it's Blink Dagger or not, with the amount of gold he's holding, either going to be a Hand of Midas or a Blink. And then the other two options, Mercy getting his Blink, that's not going to happen in a very long time. Or Attila getting his Blink, which is seemingly like a little bit more viable. Or really, he just needs a Ravage, and he's very close to that one. So if he gets a Ravage, he could leave the lane, try to get a kill somewhere else. It is just going to be Power Treads or Slark, so it looks like it will not be the Blink, nor will it be the Hand of Midas. I think this could have been a pretty good Hand of Midas game for Slark. Like, usually it's not too rare that we see Slarks just completely stall out and not get anything done. Getting the Hand of Midas kind of prevents that. Like, even if you don't get any kills, you still will be getting a lot of farm. And he would have had it by 6 minutes, I think. He would have had 1400. Yeah, he would have had it by like 6.5 minutes. That would have been a very fast blinked Hand of Midas. And Slark, as I said before, well, first of all, he's going to go for Mercy. Ice Path is going to be set up, and he runs right into it. Frost Blast is going to land as well. That's going to be an easy kill on the Centaur up on the top lane. Second kill for Lina Dota, showing the difference between their supports, with the Mirana not landing arrows in the first game, but now they're landing all their skills. So very easy for them. And it's the Centaur War Runner, who's really not having a great time here. Doesn't really have any alternatives to this either, so he kind of just has no other option than to just stick it out. Once he gets to level 6, he'll be able to maybe survive that with Stampede, or at the very least lend a little bit of aggression towards the other lanes. But for right now, it's not going to happen, as Attila in the bottom lane is going to get Fire Blasted. Ignite is available as well. There's a level 3 Anchor Smash that they have to deal with. The damage is huge, though. Attila's going to go down. It looks like, unless they mess up the chase, they still could keep chasing for a Stifling Dagger. Attila's going to try to hide in the corner, and they're not going to dive that. It's, in fact, over towards the mid lane where they go in and secure the kill on the Death Prophet. I honestly cannot believe that Attila managed to survive that. That should have been a kill if they were willing to just go in and risk it. Maybe if they had perfect communication, they would know that mid lane is being jumped upon and that there was no rotation in from Lina Dota. But obviously that didn't happen, or else they would have gone for it. So it's no kill on Tidehunter. It's a kill on the Death Prophet instead, and it's going to be Anteater to take that one, and he will be going for a mech. This time I don't really like the headdress opening for him. I think going for Buckler is just better. If you get Chainmail, then suddenly Exorcism doesn't do that much damage, and even just right clicks from Death Prophet, provided she gets Phase Boots, which I'm assuming she's going to go for, but honestly she should have right now. That's a lot of damage as well. They're going to set up once again for the Centaur. He's regenerating up. He does not have even his Tranquil Boots yet, and if they land a single stun or disable or spell anything on Mercy, then they should be able to bring him down, tower or not, as this Centaur is not too durable right now. King Liger, he doesn't have that much mana, however, so that's going to be really the limiting factor as to the aggression of this top lane. It should be Mercy to survive for a little while longer. However, Bobla, as well as Rattata, going to find Grand over in the Rune area. They're going to put a lot of spells on him, but this Jakiro is pretty tanky. Again, he's one of the more tanky intelligence heroes, right behind Ogre Magi, in fact. So we got the battle of tanks right here. Not going to result in anything. They're just going to squabble for the rune. Grim is going to get poked a little bit by the poison touch, but this Dazzle doesn't really have that much in the way of aggression. Again, mostly a defensive hero, and only level 3 Dazzle is one of the most underwhelming heroes in the game. It's like, okay, I have Shadow Wave. I could heal for 100 and maybe damage you for 200 if I'm really lucky. But that's why we see Shadow Demon Dazzle as a combo, because it lets Dazzle be aggressive, and it's aggressive and also super defensive at the same time. So that's how I like my Dazzles. I feel like anything else is a lot of wasted potential. Pretty much just Omni Knight with some range. But it's styles. It's just personal taste at a certain point. King Liger up on top is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He does have a Shadow Dance though, or just a Pounce. That's good too. Maybe Shadow Dance would have been better. I think Shadow Dance would have been better. I mean, it's very easy to say, oh, I'm just going to Pounce away and I'll be fine. He didn't see Bubba waiting in the trees, and if he Shadow Danced, then it would have given him a lot more regeneration. It would have covered about the same distance as well, and I think the health would have been the difference. But, there's no real easy way to call that in the heat of the moment. Roddick Chopsticks in the bottom lane might be facing down a Ravage. We can see how aggressively Attila is playing right now. This is a pretty huge tell, so he is very clearly indicating to Phelps that something is going down in this bottom lane. Like, otherwise, Tidehunter would not be this far up. So Phelps are going to smell that one coming, and that is going to be them dodging a gank that the Lich and Jakiro both would have been involved in. They're not really investing too much into this, however. Lina Dota are not going to be too distraught if they don't end up getting anything on this bottom lane. So all is good here, unless Attila continues to just play aggressively. At a certain point, you can just afford to mind game your opponents and play super aggressively knowing that your backup isn't there. Or it could just be Phelps willing to call the bluff of Lina Dota. This is going to be fighting into a Ravage, but they do teleport their Ogre Magi in. There's no reason to teleport him in if you're not going to be planning an active attack right now, as the Lina Dota side is not planning an active attack either. It is going to be King Liger rotating down to the bottom lane. This is a very durable Slark if he gets the Shadow Dance off, and it will be very hard to bring him down. I could very easily see this fight going Lina Dota's way. If they land a decent Ravage, it should be easy cleanup. There are 3 heroes back here. They, of course, do not know about this. Attila wants in. King Liger is going to be the first one to charge, though. There's a Ravage going to connect onto everyone. The Pounce does not connect onto anyone, however. Now instantly goes into the Shadow Dance. Pretty big mistake by King Liger. They're going to focus down the Jakiro, who's going to be brought down very quickly by Rod Chopsticks. Now graved up. The Phantom Assassin is going to survive for a little while longer. Throw another dagger, but she will go down in the end. She will. Here comes the Razor now. They're going to land a 3-man stomp. Mercy going to land a huge one with a level 3 stomp as well. Anteater is going to be the target focus and will be brought down. Now Attila on the run is not going to hit with any disables just yet, and they need another Fire Blast. The Double Edge not going to cut it. Maybe a Crypt Storm from long range. No, she just stopped for silence. That costed them the kill. Don't really know why he silenced there, because he couldn't get anything anyway. But the Death Prophet instead going to straight rush Yules instead of going for the phase. Also would have guaranteed that kill just by chasing power alone. Regardless, it is going to be still a 3-for-1 trade. That was Ravaged used by Lina Dota. The real thing that went wrong right there, actually there were a couple things that went wrong. Let's start listing them. Mercy landing a 3-man hoof stomp. Now, without Blink Dagger, I don't even think he used Stampede there. 3-man hoof stomps should not be happening, ever. Like, your positioning should be better. So, Lina Dota, they kind of clumped up a little bit too much. They dove a tier 1 tower, maybe not expecting Phelps to bring in the cavalry as fast as they did, and they opened up by missing a Pounce on Slark. And that's 4 skill points down the drain. After that, he has pretty much just a level 4 hero with an ultimate, and that is not good. So his Pounce wasn't relevant, it wasn't used in an opening, and it did not get that much done. Then Phantom Assassin getting graved made it so that Lina Dota wasted all their time bringing a hero down, only to have that hero not even go down. And then on top of that, what was the last thing? The Ravage was used. There was one more thing that I was going to mention. I don't remember it anymore. I think that might have been it, actually. Well, either way, just a whole bunch of things not going right for Lina Dota. That was even with the Ravage open. Now Grim's going to hit with the 2x multicast. Silenced as well. That's not really going to be doing that much, so everyone is going to be slipping away from that fight. But still, Phelps, they end up losing the Phantom Assassin. Not a good situation there, but taking 3 in exchange can very heavily benefit the rest of the team. Suddenly, Centaur is going to be overcoming his really crappy early stage with a ton of gold going towards him. He's now at a decent pace towards his Blink Dagger. Has his Tranquil Boots completed. Pretty standard stuff from the Centaur. The only thing not standard is the decision to go Hoof Stomp over Double Edge. Don't really like that. I feel like if you're going to be playing Centaur, you might as well go full YOLO and max out that Double Edge and get the kills as quickly as you can. But Hoof Stomp landing on 4 definitely made the difference in that last fight, so it is going to end up working for the Centaur as opposed to, usually working. Phase Boost now complete on the Death Prophet. She has yet to pick up a point of Exorcism. when she does, it will be a level 4 Witchcraft Exorcism, and that is incredibly devastating. I think it's going to be Lena Dota kind of intimidated by how poorly that last fight went. They have a mech though, so they shouldn't be intimidated. They should feel comfortable just go and be super aggressive, especially since they once again do have Ravage up. Phelps, if they want to make a defense now, it's going to be a lot harder for them. But they're going to try it. Here comes the Centaur. Has a Stampede as well. There it is. Going to land the Silence onto Attila. Nice Ice Path. Going to catch 2. Exorcism is out from Pumpkin's Revenge. Attila's going to get Chain Stun. No Kraken Shell proc. He will get the Ravage out, however. And now the Death Prophet is down. Now Anteater in the front lines. Mech already been used. They're going to pounce forward with the Chain Frost as well. Mercy going to get dropped solo, as will Bubla. Going to throw one more Fire Blast on Attila, but the Chain Frost will get Grim a double kill. Who else wants some? Ratatat does not. Chopsticks does not. That's going to be Lena Dota taking the fight. That was pretty much what should have happened. That was their plan for the bottom lane. That ultimately did not come to fruition. But now they took the nice fight. I mean, Chain Frost being leveled up right before that fight, or during the fight, it was, you know, somewhere within there. And then Ravage, of course, the mech being huge swing. This is a mech that Phelps are most likely not going to have at all this game. They have no one going for a mech. None of their heroes are typically mech heroes. If anyone, it's Death Prophet, but she's clearly really eager to get her Yule Scepter. Already has 2 of those parts. Or 3? No, just 2. So mech is not going to be in the pipeline. And Lena Dota, they are getting in right under Phelps. Now they have a Blink Dagger on Slark. Well, I mean, you know, soon they'll have a Blink Dagger on Slark. Oh, that's what I was going to say on the bottom lane. He used Shadow Dance before he took any damage at all. So that was an entirely wasted ultimate. Yeah, so they have a Blink Dagger on Slark. They will have a Ravage in 76 seconds. So right now it's farm time for Lena Dota. It's farm time for, quite honestly, everyone. Though they are behind in the CS, they are still not doing too terribly, mostly because the items are helping them a lot more. Like mech is tangible item value right there. Whereas Phantom Assassin, she has Power Treads, has a couple of Battle Fury components. Those aren't really going to be making a large difference in how Erotic Chopsticks plays the game, despite the fact that she still is on the top of the net worth chart. So the items that Lena Dota are getting are going to be helping them a lot more. Like Medallion on Jakiro, that's tangible value right there. That's a lot of extra damage, especially when you're setting up for the likes of King Liger, who, by the way, is going to find Erotic Chopsticks. He's going to force the TP out promptly. A lot of damage still going the way of the Phantom Assassin. Unfortunately, there's nothing really Slark can do about that until you pick up a Basher. And even then, it's a little bit hard to do so. He really wants his Courier. Needs one more. Pounce for it. Got it. There it is. Nicely done by King Liger. Can chase down that Courier, punish it. It's hard to really outrun that Courier, but he made it happen. A little bit more gold for him. And now, showing off that fancy new Blink Dagger, is going to look to potentially set up some additional kills. But first, it's going to be maxed out Liquid Fire taking down this tower. I don't know if Phelps want to or can make a defense on this, because Tide has a Blink Dagger as well. And Lena Dota know exactly what's going on here. So it might be a tower trade. Exorcism status is available. Level 4 Witchcraft as well. But they're deciding not to use it on this tier 1 tower. I think they would probably benefit a lot more from pushing the tower than it would be picking up this regen rune, but it's not too late to do both if they want to just go for this push. But Lena Dota, they already got what they came for on the bottom lane, so they can just rotate up. And with the Blink Ravage, that could cast Phelps on off guard. However, Attila as well as Grant are both very out of position right now, so if they run into the Phelps side, they will just get ground up and spit out so easily. They're also going to be fighting without their Slark. Doesn't have a TP scroll. Mercy does, and the Slark cannot do anything to interrupt that, as we just saw. So this isn't really the fight that Lena Dota want to take just yet. They need their Slark in there, if nothing for the fact that he needs to be able to get experience and gold off of those fights. Like, Slark needs especially the gold. If you're going to be taking a fight without Slark, then Slark is going to be kind of bummed out that he missed it. You should always be inviting this fish to your parties. Blink Dagger on the Tide. They're going to look to set up, and it is not a surprise anymore. I do believe Phelps should know about this item, but Mercy is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to back off. He has Stampede. 700 gold away from his Blink, but this is Lena Dota playing their lineup perfectly right now. They're even going to teleport the Jakiro, and I was just about to say, where the hell is the Jakiro? He's right here, and he's going to help them push down the tower. I love the way Lena Dota are playing right now. Like, they know exactly when to push, and they're going to be pushing that much aggressively at those certain timings. When you have level 4 Liquid Fire, honestly, you could go whenever you want to. But of course, it's a lot safer if you have Ravage. Pumpkin's Revenge is going to pop the Exorcism for the top, or for the mid tier 1. This should be Lena Dota continuously pushing this, unless they really want to fight this. Oh, that's pretty bold of them. They're going to teleport King Liger, who's instantly going to go into the Shadow Dance. Once again, he's going to land the pounce onto Bubla, drop him down to below half HP before anything else can happen. Bubla now getting hit with the Plasma Field as well. King Liger should be able to take that kill as he does blink forward. Should land a couple more hits. There's the death of the Ogre Magi. Now Ravage going to catch onto 3. The Shallow Grave does go onto this Death Prophet. Stampede as well to disengage. Grim looking for a slowdown onto Rattata. He will catch that one, and now the Plasma Field is going to kill off the Dazzle as well. That's a 2 for a 0. They're going to chase forward for Pumpkin's Revenge. Do they have a Gush? They do soon, but not yet. This Death Prophet is also very quick, so even if they do Gusher, I don't know if they have enough sticking power. They won't be able to catch up to her, but they do hold on to their tower. It's not in deny range, unfortunately. Phelps do get a tower in the end. Not the tower they wanted, but a tower they deserved. And Phantom Assassin's going to pick up a Battle Fury off of that. Still, Lena Dota takes 2 for 0. They get a whole bunch of kills. Slark getting a solo kill as well is huge. 1,400 gold on him if he wants to go for a Basher, Sanjanyasha, Scotty. Anything that Slark wants could be viable in this game. And hell, in any game, honestly, let's be truthful here. Slark with any item is good. It's just which one is optimal. In this game, I think it's probably more along the lines of a Sanjanyasha game. Like, you could go for a Basher, but you're dealing with Blur, so maybe, yeah, Sanjanyasha MKB seems a little bit better. If I'm playing the Slark, that would be my take on it. But really, even if he decides to go for something like Orchid, and that's obviously not going to be the best one, but items like that, you could go for pretty much anything. They're going to open up a Dorado Chopsticks over on the middle lane. Or not. They won't. Not enough stun. 70 seconds until Ravage. That means Lena Dota are going to be playing cautiously for 70 seconds. They'll have a Chain Frost by the time that happens, and now it's time for Phelps to make a play. They have 30 seconds until they have their Exorcism up. They have a Blink Dagger on the Centaur. It's not a secret anymore, so he is not going to be surprising anyone, but it is going to be Phelps nonetheless pushing this mid lane tower. They'll have to go through Liquid Fire, Macro Pyre, as well as Ice Path. But now the tower is in deny range, and now Lena Dota should just be all focusing this tower. Literally, everyone just attack it so that they don't get it. Or maybe they're trying to bait a fight. If they had this Ravage up, then I could understand keeping this tower alive. But since they don't, it's actually going to be Phelps voluntarily disengaging. I mean, Phantom Assassin with the Battle Fury is the type of late game hero you want. We're pretty much in the same situation as last game, except this time Lena Dota are a lot more ahead. Tower is going to be denied in the end. Just took them a little while. And Slark, what is his item purchase? None yet. He is just going to be blinking around and clearing the lanes. No TP on him, however. Now that Ravage is up in 10, they should be grouped up and looking for more tier 2s. You have Liquid Fire, you might as well be using it. Aghanim Scepter, not going to be the purchase for Razor. It's instead going to be a plate mail item. I think it's got to be Assault Cuirass for him. Shiva's Guard is pretty good on the Razor as well, but I just think Assault Cuirass, when you combine it with the physical from Slark and Tide, is just so much better. Plus, it makes the Eye of the Storm do more damage. And plus, it makes your right clicks do more damage as well. Like, also is a thing. King Liger's going to chase forward for Mercy, going to pop the Stampede in order to escape. Gush is going to slow him down after the fact. Are they really going to dive this one? He has a Blink Dagger and a Pounce. Oh, he misses that, as the Centaur does get his Blink out first. Anteater suddenly is going to be surrounded. He's going to start stealing damage from Bubba, who's caught sleeping once again. Fire Blast, not going to ult to cast. Ignite is going to be thrown as well, but it's only level 1 skill. 100 damage stolen by Razor. Can get thrown up into the air, but this is not something that Pumpkin's Revenge can actually do. Anteater can turn around and fight this one and win if he really wanted to, but he doesn't have backup. He doesn't know where the Phelps heroes are. No sense risking that when you don't have to, because in the meantime, they're using Liquid Fire and just the threat of Ravage in order to push down this tower. They're going to back off? Man, you got Ravage and Liquid Fire. I don't know what you're scared about. I mean, I guess they don't have their Razor, but the enemy team doesn't have their Phantom Assassin either, so that's not really the call that I would have made. I would have said just keep going. If they want to fight, so be it. We have Ravage. We'll win pretty easily. But instead, they're going to play the cautious game. It's going to be Slark continuously farming up. Maybe it's just going to be a straight MKB for him. I mean, you don't really save this much gold unless you have a serious plan for it. Is it going to be a Relic? King Liger, come on. If you're going to go for an Abyssal Blade, get a Basher first. Relic doesn't actually do that much for you. 60 damage is nice, but it won't really win you the game. Maybe clearing off a Giant Ancient stack is good. Yeah, they're going to stack it up one more time. This one should be a success as well. With the plate mail on both Tidehunter and Razor, it should be both Shiva's Guard and AC for them, so you know who gets what isn't going to be entirely relevant, but they are still working with Liquid Fire, and it looks like their objective is going to be a bottom lane push instead of top. This is going to allow for Phelps to use Exorcism kind of unnecessarily to kill off the top tier 1 tower. That's fine. They won't be able to get that much more, however, as they will be forced back into a fight, and this should be a fight that Lena Dota want to take. The only problem is that their Slark doesn't actually have any gold, so even though he's doing pretty well in net worth, it's like 3,000 gold that is literally doing nothing for him, and then another 2,000 gold that's purely repositioning. So a lot of value on the Slark is not there, despite the fact that it might show it. The Exorcism is going to put some serious damage on this tower, and Lena Dota kind of hesitating to go in. They should be able to take this tower, and if Phelps don't instantly teleport back and try to fight this, they could conceivably go for even more, because Phelps, they're out of gas right now. They're not going to be pushing the top lane Raxes as hard as you can with Liquid Fire, and this might end up being just a base trade scenario. They're going to make sure that everything's safe and secure, but the Liquid Fire is still flowing. Are they really going to go for top lane? This push is going to be incredibly slow from Deathpop, but they will force everyone back, however. That's a 2-for-1 tower trade, it seems like. No, they're going to try to defend everything. Slark is going to teleport into the mid lane. They're going to not get anything out to anyone just yet. Pounce forward from Slark. Stampede to disengage, however. Phelps get a whole bunch of towers. King Liger still chasing forward. Will find Mercy. Can't do anything about that. And that should be just about the end of it. Yet, Lena Dota, because they're not working with huge cooldowns, mainly, they didn't use a huge cooldown in order to push. They didn't use their Ravage to get that tower or anything like that. They could just go for another tier 2 tower. So it is going to be BKB purchased by Phantom Assassin. So if they do end up fighting, then it will be a slightly better fight for Phelps. But I still think Lena Dota with the Chain Frost, the Macro Pyre, the Razor Mech, and maybe if he picks up his Chainmail ever, he'll be able to survive that. But yeah, Lena Dota, love it. I mean, they're just going for the push. It's something that we didn't really see last game, where teams had their comparative strengths and they were just sitting on them, not willing to use it for anything. But this time, Lena Dota are more than willing. Attila's going to get hit on the front lines. He is fairly tanky, though, has a mech right behind him as well. So he will be able to mech it up, and I think it's about time to mech it up. Or we could just wait. I mean, patience, Attila, patience. He's going to try to bait everyone in for a Ravage. However, if he gets hit with Silence, suddenly no Ravage. Mech is still available for Anteater. King Liger up on the high ground. Is he really the one who wants to initiate? This is actually a pretty bad fight for Lena Dota, considering their Slark is holding on to 4,000 gold. I hate it when Slarks do this. This isn't the first time I've seen it either. Like, if you have gold, spend it. Blink forward for a Ravage. Gonna catch 3 as they jump straight onto Chopsticks, but Mercy lands another 3-man hoof stomp. Where's the Chain Frost? It's already been thrown. Bouncing around is gonna kill off the Dazzle and then force Boobla out of that fight, but they have already lost 2, soon to lose 3, maybe even 4, as Anteater Mech is not going to do nearly enough to prevent all that damage. Rock Chopsticks still chasing forward, is going to not get any of the kills. Death Prophet gets a triple with that swarm. The Slark is in the back end, going to catch Pumpkin's Revenge. Does he have enough damage? Probably not, because he only has a Blink Dagger in his inventory. Now it's going to be an ultra kill for Pumpkin's Revenge. Lena Dota, that is exactly the kind of fight that you don't want to have happen. Jump forward so aggressively, all onto one hero who has Grave, and the enemy team has a Blinking Centaur. Messed up that fight, Lena Dota. Can't really blame him for that, but at the same time, this Slark, he's sitting on now 3,700 gold. If he ends this game with this much money, then holy crap, he's voluntarily keeping himself at 2 items. And these are like the 2 items Centaur Warrunner has, except he has a hood. And the 2 items that Tidehunter has, except he has Plate Mail and Ravage. This Slark is going to be completely useless unless he spends his gold. Seriously, Slark, spend your frickin' gold. I don't know what you're getting. It has to be a Sacred Relic, right? Like, he has it in his mind that Abyssal Blade is the item to get, and I would agree with him. Abyssal is a fantastic item, but get a Basher. Get something to help you right now if you're going to try to take a fight right now. Otherwise, wait for your items. You're not really in that much of a rush. I mean, yeah, you're behind in the farm race, in the late game war with the Phantom Assassin on the field, but shit, you can afford to wait. So this Slark, I mean, he pretty much did nothing except for Pounce Dark Pact, and that's not good enough. Ravage, as good as it was, isn't the type of skill to instantly win you the fight unless you have follow-up. And you expect follow-up to be there for Lena Dota, but it just wasn't there with such a great hoof stomp reinitiation from Phelps. That's going to be a nicely won team fight for them. And Lena Dota continuing to not... Oh, no, Slark bought a Demon Edge. See, he could have had that one for the fight, and he probably would have gotten a kill, or an additional kill for the team. It is going to be an MKB for him after all. But for whatever reason, he decided to hold an extra 1,400 gold and just have that literally contribute nothing for him in the last team fight. But, you know, he has an item now, and that's what's important. The question is, are Lena Dota going to go in again? They do have Chain Frost, and they do have a Ravage. They should still be looking to pressure these towers. Because what happened in... Oh my god, smokes. What happened in the last fight is, once again, not indicative of how the fights are supposed to go for Lena Dota, because their positioning was just so off. They get their positioning a little bit tighter, a little bit more accurate, then it should be a little bit better for them, especially since now their Slark has an item. Waiting for an MKB is also a worthwhile way to go. Like, an MKB versus someone with Blur is worth waiting for, but the problem is Erotic Chopsticks is farming even faster. Their Lena Dota are quickly running out of good options. The power of Chain Frost Ravage is still there, and it will pretty much always be there for this game. But the longer they wait, the bigger this Phantom Assassin is going to get. At this point, if you try to take a fight, a BKB Phantom Assassin with what she has right now is going to be hitting like a truck, and you can't necessarily burst her down. I mean, you could chain stun her if you get her with a Ravage and then a Chain Frost, or not Chain Frost, a Ice Path, stuff like that. It could work out well for them. Going for a smoke, I like that option. That's a good one. They're going to smoke up, unfortunately, right under a Radiant Observer Ward. And that is a little bit dangerous. I mean, this used to be a pretty safe spot to smoke up. Not anymore. Like, when this ward spot is there, you should assume that the enemy knows where you are. Lena Dota, they're going to rotate around. Are they going to run to Phelps? Yes, they will. All the smokes are broken. King Liger going to find out everyone instantly into the Shadow Dance. The Ice Path is going to connect, and the Chain Frost is out. It's going to be Bubla to take most of the damage. He will drop in an instant. Now the Ravage going to annihilate Mercy because it's glancing around through all the Mud Golems as well. The Exorcism is out, however, and it's going to eat through Anteater's life so very quickly. Ravage has already been used. That's going to be a buyback from the Ogre. He's going to try to return back to this fight. Grimm's still in the fight as well. Rock Chopsticks going to try to contribute what he can, but he doesn't have any more damage. Razor stole it all. Razor did go down, however. King Liger is on his way out, and by that, I think I mean in a body bag. Cryptstorm is going to kill off another triple kill for Pumpkin's Revenge. Tidehunter, the only one to escape. That was such a messy fight, and now they're going to go straight into the Roshan pit. I don't know if they have enough for this. Attila's got to watch out for Cleave or the Stomps. Oh, Attila is playing this one so dangerously. He's getting cleaved. No. No. Oh no! Oh my god. I didn't think it would happen, guys. I didn't think it would happen. But this is a level 18 Phantom Assassin with Battle Fury. You don't stand behind things because there's cleave. Oh god, that's like truly a Dota cinema moment. It's like, alright, I got the Invis rune. It's time to wait. And then you just get cleaved to death. It's beautiful. It's elegant. It's perfect. Oh man, what a fight for Phelps. This Exorcism Death Prophet showing off her power. This is first pick material, guys. And I mean, she didn't get first pick this game, but she was picked up, and she's showing her strength right now. That Exorcism with BKB, Lena Dota could not do anything about that. They don't have anything to stick onto their targets. MKB for Slark is not the right item for that. You need an Eye of Scotty or a Basher, or hell, even both. And Lena Dota's Ravage, though it was pretty decent, again, the follow-up just wasn't necessarily there. They weren't able to burst down the targets they needed to because Dazzle's on the field. And this game is just looking better and better for Phelps as the game progresses. Erotic Chopsticks with a Basher almost on his person, or should be on his person soon, is going to be able to lock down and duel pretty much anyone. And his crits are hitting hard. Bloodlust is level 4 as well, so he's going to be hitting that much faster and moving that much faster as well. This game is slowly slipping away from Lena Dota. They had a nice opening where technically they should have been able to get in and do a lot more damage to Phelps' base. But after those last two fights, Lena Dota have shown that they are just so far behind. This Slark's net value is entirely irrelevant at this point unless he completes an item. There's a 10k, 12k advantage in both Golden Experience, respectively, for Phelps. That's just a gross lead for 30 minutes into the game. And they'll be able to plow this tower down very easily. Pipe is available on the Centaur as well. There's just so many items. Lena Dota, their item progression has all but stopped. Again, MKB not yet up on the Slark, despite his pretty good early start. He's gotten pretty much nothing done with this Blink Dagger because he has been running around with no net worth, and now Chopsticks going to go straight for Attila, going to take a gush straight to the face, and now he's going to damage Stolen, but Anteater is going to not get much dealt with, oh my god, not do much damage with that Stolen damage, and now it's going to be Pumpkin's Revenge just to exercise this bottom tier 3 tower. Fortification will slow it down. They have another creep wave and a siege creep, though. So Lena Dota, they're forced to fight. They have a Ravage. They have Chain Frost. If they could find the angle for a Blink Ravage, it was there. It still is there. Blink in for 3. They're not going to go for it. There it is. Blink in, but the BKB from Pumpkin's Revenge is there. Still the Exorcism is flowing. The Chain Frost is going to be dragged away. For the most part, it will drain out, and they did take the Aegis down with PA, but she's going to be back with a vengeance. Did she use a BKB? She did not. She's going to BKB immediately. Who's she going to go for? Straight for King Liger. Going to crit down that Slark. Easy peasy. Then one-hit shot that Jakiro. Then going to go for Anteater. That's going to be 3. Pumpkin Revenge is going to take 1. No Ravage, no Chain Frost. This is going to be 1 set of Raxes down at the very least. They want more. They want to dive the base. No crits from Chopsticks, unfortunately. Means it's going to be Lich surviving. But that's going to be the Rax's taken. Slark was not able to contribute. If he went for a Basher, if that was his choice, or just Drums, Orb of Venom, just these simple basic items, Assange and Yasha, then Lina Dota could be very much so in this game. But deciding to hold the gold, and then deciding to go for a cost-inefficient item like Demon Edge is not going to winning you any games. Now let's see the disengage from Lina Dota. They're all getting hit with the Frost Blast, or at least Chopsticks and Mercy. They're going to try to split up and then Phantom Strike over to another. There it is. Stampede is there to ensure the escape. King Liger going to jump forward, but he does not really want to be doing this. They could turn around and kill these heroes so easily if they wanted to. They don't want to. Bubba is going to be the casualty of war, but they've taken Rax's 30 minutes into the game. Exorcism status up in 50. Shiva's Guard will be up by the time that push is going to happen, and it will be actually purchased up straight away. There's still no plate mail item on the Tide. There is almost a completed Assault Cuirass on the Razor, which is going to be helpful, but it's not going to win you the game. Especially when the Phantom Assassin has so much gold. She's 500 away from her Abyssal, which I expect to be the next item for Chopsticks. And Phelps in complete control of this game, mostly due to the Exorcism of Death Prophet and the fact that Lina Dota made some very questionable itemization decisions, or I guess lack thereof, in the mid game. I guess you could say it all kind of started when Lina Dota grouped up for this fight over here, got hit with a 3-man stomp over here, and then just all went downhill from there, and then taking the following fight over in this area. Just poor fight after poor fight for Lina Dota, and it's bought Phelps so much time to just get farm of the Phantom Assassin and clear off a triple stack. No way, yeah, that's triple stack. Yes, I can count, guys, that is 3. No weave. Oh, the 1 weave from Dazzle is going to quickly get 2 off of this experience from the dragons and the golems. Or should, unless I'm mathing wrong. Am I mathing wrong? No, we got it. Okay, level 2 weave. Going to be a huge armor swing. And when you're dealing with Death Prophet, who already has a lot of armor, Phantom Assassin has quite a bit of armor as well as evasion. Everyone from Phelps is going to be so durable. And Slark, no MKB. Oh, no. Oh, hallelujah. He has an MKB. 34 minutes MKB rush. Classic item build. But Phelps, they're not going to wait any longer. They might want to hold buyback for the Phantom Assassin. She doesn't have travels or anything like that, so I don't think that's entirely necessary. I think it's buy Abyssal at the side shop and then just keep going. Or the secret shop, rather. Or you could just go. Like, going is fine, too. Like, you're so powerful. They have to be careful of Ravages and Chain Frost. That is still going to be powerful, as I said before. But if they're quick with their fingers, as Death Prophet has been in the past, then they shouldn't have to worry about that much. They're going to look for Jakira, will not find him. Instead, they're going to decide to split top and mid. I like the decision to go for top lane. It's going to split Lina Dota between the very far away top and bottom lanes, and a lot more inconvenient for them to defend both. And conceivably, they could put Erotic Chopsticks solo in the mid lane and just have him take the tier 3 in the meantime, or maybe with the Ogre Magi or something like that. Or they could just weave up and just go for it. Or they could just not weave up and go for it. Or could not buckler. Oh, there we go. Weave up and go for it. It's about that time. They have ice armor to worry about, but this tower is going to drop in a hurry. Now the pipe is there with the Exorcism. You could jump in and Ravage if you want to. 3x multicast and Anteater. Now Erotic Chopsticks is going to make the jump in. The cleave damage is huge. Grimm is going to get mech'd up, and he will not die just yet. The damage is being stolen by Phantom Assassin. Down 140, but Mercy is going to come right in for a nice 2-man hoof stomp. Going to now start running away. This is all just buying space, though. Ravage is going to connect onto 4 heroes, but this time there's absolutely no follow-up. The Razor is down, and the Raxes are soon to follow as well. The Slark is up into the air. He's going to be mostly ignored as he does try to pounce out. Can't really do anything. Mercy is going to go for Attila. One more double edge will kill off the Tidehunter. Now going to try to go for King Liger. That's a GG call by Attila. It's going to be Phelps taking this series 2-0. Game number 2 looked a lot more in contention than game number 1. But for sure, it was the poor itemization from the Dire. The questionable team fights. Not really questionable team fights. I think I would have taken most of those team fights. Just dropping one too many fights and then letting the Battle Fury Phantom Assassin cleave through. Tidehunter dying to the cleave is certainly going to be a memorable moment for me. I mean, you could see them in videos, but you don't really see them every day. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, be sure to hit the like button or the follow button on this channel, UGC League 3. Also go to all the other UGC League channels. I think they're all below the stream as well, and be sure to hit that follow button as well. I'm Mikelorus. If you enjoyed my casting, you can find me on the Hefla TV channels where I'm usually going to be. And that should be it for me. UGC League will continue next week, guys. I'll see you then. GG.